Innocence. The Okafor family of Enugu lived in wealth and laughter. Chief Okafor, his wife, and their two children, Chidi and Adiz, seemed to have everything a family could dream of. But behind Madam Okafor's smile was a sorrow she carried alone. Every pregnancy after her two children had ended in strange miscarriages. Doctors found nothing wrong, yet her womb remained barren. Their maid, Ngozi, was a young village girl who appeared to be a blessing. She was obedient, hardworking, and always carried a gentle smile. Neighbors often told Madam she was lucky to have such a rare and innocent girl under her roof. But Madam sometimes felt uneasy. Whenever Ngozi touched her hand, a cold shiver spread through her body. The unease grew worse at night. Madam began to have terrifying dreams. In them, an old, wrinkled woman sat heavily on her belly, pressing down, choking the life within her womb. The woman's eyes glowed faintly, and they were the very same eyes as Ngozi's. Even the children began to notice strange happenings. At night, Chidi and Adiz heard scratching on their bedroom walls, like nails dragging across cement. Sometimes, Madam woke in the middle of the night to find Ngozi wandering barefoot in the corridors, her shadow stretching unnaturally long behind her. One night, Madam dreamt again of the old woman. This time the crone leaned close, her breath cold and foul, whispering, "You will never carry again." Madam woke bleeding, her womb aching as though cursed. Hope arrived unexpectedly one Saturday. Madam's old school friend, Sister Grace, came visiting. Grace was known for her strong visions and her faith. As soon as she entered the compound, the air seemed to resist her presence. From the doorway, Ngozi watched with her usual soft smile, but her eyes never left Grace. Later, as they sat chatting, Ngozi entered with a tray of zobo and meat pies. Grace's smile faded the moment her eyes met Ngozi's. Something ancient and dark moved behind that innocent face. Grace leaned close to Madam and whispered, "This girl is no maid. She is the hand behind your sorrow." The words had barely left her mouth when the tray slipped from Ngozi's hands, shattering on the floor. The lights flickered. The air grew thick with dread. Ngozi's body began to twist. Her mouth stretched unnaturally wide, and her shadow rose from the ground, taking the form of the wrinkled old woman from Madam's dreams. The same glowing eyes pierced the room. Chidi and Adi screamed in terror. Chief Okafor stood frozen as voices, layered and many, erupted from Ngozi's throat, her womb's eyes. Grace rose to her feet, Bible lifted, her voice thunderous in prayer. Curtains whipped violently though the windows were shut. Ngozi writhed on the floor, smoke rising from her skin. She shrieked, confessing her evil, how she had feasted on Madam's womb, how every unborn child had been offered to her coven, how she had worn the mask of the old woman in Madam's dreams. Her shadow screamed as it shrank, dragged violently back into her body. Chief, gathering courage, dragged Ngozi out of the compound, throwing her belongings after her. At the gate, her glowing eyes glared one last time before the darkness swallowed her. Silence fell on the mansion. Madam wept in Grace's arms, her body trembling, but her spirit finally felt light. Months later, hope returned. Madam lay in a hospital bed, cradling a newborn baby. Chief and the children surrounded her, smiles of relief lighting their faces. This time, the child lived. But some nights, under the pale light of the moon, faint scratch marks still appear on the compound wall, as though Ngozi, the innocent-faced maid, still waits in the shadows.